them individually. All right, guys, we are looking at worksheet 38 today. Let me get rid of this. Sorry I can't get the screen to go a little more full for those of you watching the recording. All right, so we are not doing anything new. We're dealing with altitude, which is the 90-degree angle, and an altitude always goes from the top vertex and we go straight down to make a 90-degree angle. And medians, where a median goes from the vertex to the opposite midpoint. So I'm just going to remind you that that would be a midpoint if that is a median. And it does say that BD right here is a median. So BD is a median of triangle ABC. So we want to mark these congruent to each other. Okay, now that I know that, I am going to label everything I have. So labeling is really important. And when I go to label this, AB is x minus 7. All right, that's a little different because I don't know anything about this segment. AD, this piece, is x plus 3. And DC, this piece, is 2x minus 17. And they want me to find the length of AB. I'm going to put a little box around that so I come back to it. Okay. So there's nothing that I'm doing with AB. What I'm going to do is find x using these two are congruent, and then I'll plug it in there. So nothing new. Take your segment, the half, equal to the other half, and then let's solve it. I'm guessing most of you would want to take this and subtract the x. So I get 3 equals x minus 17. And if the x is on the right, then I'm going to swing the 17 to the left. Yeah. So I've got 3 plus 17, x is 20. So to find the length of AB, I would simply put in 20 minus 7, and AB is 13 units. Now, I could find the length of AD, that's going to be 23. And then the length here would also be 23. So the triangle is not drawn to scale. And I could tell you the length of AD then would be 46. But I can never tell you anything about the length of BC. I don't have enough information. Okay, now go down to here. I know that this one looks like an altitude, but I cannot assume that. The only reason I know it's an altitude is it tells me that AD is an altitude. So it goes from vertex to the opposite side, forms a 90-degree angle. So I have to be told that. Now we know that BD, this little piece is 2x. And we know that DC is 3x minus 4. Here's one of the biggest mistakes we make. People want to set these equal to each other. Guys, these aren't equal. It's not because they don't look equal. It's because that is a perpendicular line. It's not a midpoint. But they did tell me the angle ADC is 4x plus 10. So I know that this angle is 90 degrees. So I know that 4x plus 10 equals 90. So it's not that they gave you extra information because they want you to find the length of BC. So I need this information, but I can't use this until I find out something I know. So that's the difference there. I'm using that 90 degrees. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. I get 4x equals 80, which works out pretty nice to give me x equals 20. Okay, so that's my x value. And I'm going to take that 20 and put it in. So 2 times 20 is going to be 40. That was from 2 times 20. And 3 times 20 is 60 minus 4. I get 56. So the length of BD together is 40 plus 56, and that gives me 96 units. I guess we could be more technical naming it. So we use what we knew about the angle to find the x value, and then we plug the x value in. Okay, next problem. They said to find x, so that's what I want, and the measure of angle PSR. So I better write that down. X equals, and the measure of angle PSR. Remember that little m stands for measure of the angle. Okay, now PS is a median, so find PS. Median means midpoint, so this is equal to this. Okay, so let's back this up. They're pointing to this angle PSR, and we just did that where the angle was 90 degrees, but that's because it was an altitude. So this angle is not 90 degrees. I don't know anything about it. So I'm going to use the fact that these are equal. 10x minus 7 equals 5x plus 3. I'm going to find x, and then I'm going to be able to use this. So before in the problems, it was pretty much you were given exactly what you needed. You could set them equal or double it, 90 degrees. Now they're giving you more information, so you have to use it correctly. So I'm going to solve, just these two are equal. So I get 5x minus 7 equals 3. I'll add 7. 5x equals 10. Well, okay, divide both sides by 5. X is 2. All right, so that's x. That's 2. Now, this angle is 15 times 2 plus 42. Hopefully my eyes are seeing that correctly. So that's 30 plus 42. I get this angle as 72 degrees. Okay, oops, there you go. Any issues? All right, let me move on then. So on the back, we have two problems. I'm going to go ahead and pause and have you try number 4, and then I would like you to set up and label number 5. So try number 4 and set up and label number 5. All right, here we go. It says to find x, find CD. Okay, so x equals CD equals DB equals. We want to make sure we do everything they're asking us to do. All right, so there's my little answer box, so I don't forget. AD is the altitude. Okay, that's all I know. Guys, these look equal, so I hope you didn't do that. These look equal, but this is not a median, so these are not equal. All I know is that this is 90 degrees, so that means that 4x minus 6 is 90 degrees. So add 6. 4x equals 96. What's x? Did anyone get that? 24? Yeah, no, that makes sense because 4 goes into 80 20 times and then the 16, so perfect. All right, so we got x. It's 24. Now, CD is this little guy, so that'd be 24 plus 7. So what, 31? All right, so CD is 31, and then DB is 2 times 24 minus 15. I don't want to think this early in the morning. I think it's 33. Oh, look at me using my big brain. All right, so they, CD and DB are definitely not equal. Close, but not equal. If they could have asked you for the length of CB also, because we would just add those together. Okay, this triangle's got a lot going on. That's why I wanted you to label it. Let me get out here a little bit. Here we go. Okay, triangle WHA. So you know what? There's so much going on here. I'm going to highlight the big triangle because if you really look, there's a little triangle. There's a lot of triangles in here. So we're focusing on this big triangle. Okay, so we've got that going for us. Now, WP is a median. Okay, so let's mark that. That means this is congruent to this. So I'm hoping that's marked for you. And then it goes on, it says, and it's an angle bisector. Ah, okay. That means that this angle is equal to this angle. Now, let's be honest. These angles don't look congruent. And WP doesn't, to me, it doesn't look like this is equal. But it doesn't matter what it looks like. We're told that. So an angle bisector means these are congruent. Now, AP, this little guy, is 3y plus 11. PH, this little guy, is 7y minus 5. So I already know that these are equal to each other. Okay? And then it goes on that angle H, find it, angle HWP, this side, is x plus 12. So the angle, not the side of the triangle. And then PAW, this angle out here, did you catch that? Is 3x minus 2. And then angle HWA, the whole angle, is 4x minus 16. Whew, okay, we got to find x, we've got to find y, and we want to know is WP an altitude. WP, altitude. I'm going to put a little y or an n there, and then we need to explain. Okay, that's a lot. That is a lot. Let me see if I messed up this angle. Angle PAW. So how do they want to know if that's an altitude? HWA. I just want to make sure I didn't screw anything up, the whole thing. HWP, the little thing. Okay. I don't think we're going to have enough information to tell if this is an altitude. So I'll peek at that in a minute. So guys, you have two different variables. You've got y and you've got x, and they're very different. The y's are your lengths of your segment. So we're going to set that equal. 7y minus 5 equals 3y plus 11. So let's go ahead and take a minute and solve that by subtracting 3y. So 4y minus 5 equals 11. Add 5 to both sides. 4y equals 16. Divide. So y is 4. Okay, so I've got that down. Now, we need to be careful with our angles here. Here's what I know. This angle is x plus 12. This angle is also x plus 12. The big angle is 4x. So to find your angles, I think I'm going to do this over here. I didn't do a good job of showing my work. I need to say 2 of the x plus 12 is equal to the overall angle of 4x minus 16. So you could do it that way. If I double this angle, 2 of those is 4x minus 16, or the idea is put it here, x and x is 2x, right? 12 from here and 12 from here is 24. So whether I distribute that and double it, or I add this up twice, I get the 4x minus 16. Okay, I'm going to bring the x this way just to keep it positive. Maybe you won't. It's whatever you want. I get 24 equals 2x minus 16. I'm going to add 16. So I get 2x on the right. And I'm thinking here, I think this should be 40. So x is 20. Everybody agree with me? All right, good. X is 20. All right, so I've got x. Now, the last piece of information is WP and altitude. Well, here's the issue. I don't know anything about the angle. They didn't give me anything about angle WPA. They gave me PAW. PAW is 3 times 20 minus 2. So we're going to have to do a little investigative work here. That's 60 minus 2, so that's 58. Okay, let me get another color. I got an idea. All right, here's my idea. I think I'm going to, well, this is 58 in here. Okay, now we do know that x is 20, so let's put it in here. Let's look at this triangle right here. Do you see what I'm highlighting? I'm going to look at this little triangle. So I'm going to bring this little triangle over here. Just the little one. WAP. Do you see what I brought over? I brought this little triangle over here. We know this is 58 degrees, and this angle is 20 plus 12, which is 32. Now how many degrees are in a triangle? I don't think you guys can really read that, can you? I'll just do this in red. How many degrees are in a triangle, guys? 180. So take 180 minus 58 minus 32, and what do you get? Well, 58 and 32 together is 90. So this angle is 90 degrees, isn't it? I wanted to say there wasn't enough information, but if we can pull this little triangle and we know these two angles, this is 90 degrees. So is it an altitude? Yes. The measure of angle WPA is 90 degrees, and we found that by the triangle sum theorem. Not too shabby for an early Wednesday morning. Okay, guys, that was a lot. That was a pretty heavy problem. So originally I wanted to be like, not enough information. They didn't give me what I needed. But then I started thinking, well, I can fill in the extra information. I knew there was a reason they gave me this corner angle. I just had to use it. Okay, so that is the worksheet. I'm going to drop this out just in case someone needs to see it again. But I think there was just too much going on, and that's why I pulled this little triangle out to look at it. Okay, that's the worksheet.